So I'm a big fan of blood sausage, but I've never had the Korean kind, sundae. So today I'm going to change that. I got this frozen sundae from the Korean market, and it comes with 2 packets. There's the sausage itself, and some assorted organ meat. So I'm going to follow the instructions on the package. First thing I'm going to do is fill up a big pot with water, put it on the stove over high heat, bring it to a boil, and drop in those packets. While that's going, I'm also going to make some noodles. I'm using instant ramen, and I didn't have any plain noodles, so I'm going to just steal the noodles from this buldak package, and I'll save the seasonings for another time. Throw those into some boiling water, and let them go for about 4 minutes. You don't want to fully cook them here, because we're going to be adding them back in to our dish later. I'm going to strain those and run some cold water over them just to stop the cooking process. Oh, and by the way, this is not a traditional recipe at all. I'm just combining a few ideas from some other Korean food that I've cooked in the past. Next, I'll prep some Napa cabbage. I'm going to cut the base in quarters. And usually you can split them lengthwise pretty easily, but this one just didn't want to, so whatever. Cut out the rest of the core, because that's kind of tough and solid. I'm going to use a quarter of this head of cabbage, and I'll just chop this into 1-inch segments. Throw it into a saute pan over medium heat. The cabbage has plenty of water in it, so we're just going to put a lid over it and let it steam itself. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes, so I turned off the heat on the sausage. I'm going to pull that out of the water, let it cool down for a few minutes. Then I'll cut open the pouch. And I'll slice these into 1-inch segments. The inside likes to cling to your knife, so make sure to have a wet paper towel handy if you're doing this. And you gotta be gentle because it's pretty delicate. The sausages are pretty soft, and the filling will come out pretty easily if you're rough with it. Then I threw that in with the cabbage. Next I opened up that organ meat. I was assuming it would taste a little bit tripey or livery or some sort of intense flavor, but this actually tastes pretty good. It's just got a nice beef flavor to it. So I chopped that up and threw it in as well. Next I sliced up some Chungyang chili peppers. As well as the greens from a bunch of scallions. And threw those in. Now we're going to make a sauce. I'm going to mince up about 5 cloves of garlic. I like to smash them with the side of my knife so that the paper comes off pretty easily. And the only small bowl sort of thing I had was this teacup, so in it goes. We need a little sweetness, and usually I'd use a corn syrup or a rice syrup, but I'm up at my vacation house in Vermont and don't have access to that sort of stuff. So using a couple tablespoons of sugar. Next I'll add in a few tablespoons of soy sauce. As well as some mirin, which is a sweetened rice wine. Some toasted sesame oil. And probably about 4 or 5 tablespoons of gochujang chili paste. And once I added that, the cup almost overflowed, and I was almost done with the gochujang container, so I just poured everything back in there as a mixing bowl. I gave that a good stir, and make sure to taste it for balance of flavor. This needed a little bit more soy sauce for some salt and acidity. I'll dump that sauce on top of the sausage and vegetables. And let's gently fold that in. Again, the sausage is pretty delicate, so you want to be careful here. Just make sure everything's coated evenly in the sauce. Oop, almost forgot the noodles, so I'll dump those in as well. Mix it up a little bit more. Just cook this for another 5 minutes so the sauce heats up a little bit, and the noodles come back up to temperature. And of course I'm going to serve this over some tater tots, because that is very traditional. I'm joking, but I'm sure there is precedent for this somewhere on the streets of Sinchon. So the sundae has an interesting texture. It's very soft, just like other blood puddings, but they use cellophane noodles inside as a thickener, so it's got this sort of bouncy texture as well. And so it's not as gritty as like a French boudin noir. Also, since we basically steamed these, the casing didn't get crispy or anything. It's also pretty bouncy. Not rubbery, but yeah, very interesting. And the sausage just soaked up all of the sauce's flavor, so that's nice. Otherwise, the flavor of the sausage is pretty mild. I don't know what kind of seasoning they use, but it's almost got a little bit of sweetness. I don't know if that's the blood itself or something else that's in there. Now, the sauce, if you haven't had it before, is it's just a well-balanced, very bold, hearty kind of sauce. It's very spicy, but if you pick a mild gochujang, then that won't be the case. And of course, all of that goes really well with tater tots. I mean, all you need for a saucy dish like this is a solid starch, and what's not to love about some crispy potatoes? So let me know if you give this a try, and let me know what you thought. I'll see you guys next time.